and yours. I'm sorry, mama, you can't have it your way. I'm a little broke boy, I be stuck in my ways. I'm a little broke boy, I'm just stacking my
Welcome back. Sway reporting live. It's a different setting here, ladies and gentlemen. We got a one-on-one sit down. I'm gonna sit down. 30 for 30. It's looking like this is probably gonna be a start of something greater. So Vono, I'm gonna tell you this. First and foremost, we're gonna introduce the person that doesn't need an introduction. Mr. Prohectivities, Mr. Vono himself.
You know, VVs, no CZs,
You feel me?
Champagne popping, all that stuff.
So I just want to welcome you because this is a different setting. But we're going to call this our version of 30 for 30, corner stories, whatever you want to call it, Prohectivities, Vibes, SRL. This is a collab right here. So first and foremost, what brought you to the chair, my brother?
I'm interested in why you're an analyst. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
And, being that I'm a black business owner too, I thought it was like I could use your talent to really have a good conversation and talk about it.
Okay. I like that. So let's go straight into it. No ifs, ands, or buts. Let's not diddle-daddle. Man out of Red Hook, New York. You feel me?
Yeah, I love Red Hook, Brooklyn,
What?
Red Hook, USA.
Just talk to me. Live in an apartment complex with mom, dukes, and pops.
Projects.
Yeah,
it's projects.
Project housing. Just tell me, how does that, I wouldn't call it a label, but talk to me. How does that instill in your life and your growing up and what got you through these streets? Just on a general. We'll go deeper later, but on a general statement.
Just knowing how to survive. Like, it's not a dangerous place if you know where you at. So when you become a person in your surroundings, you're no longer in danger. Neighborhood respects you, neighborhood love you since you was young. So, and then it's not as bad as it's like put in the media. Like, I know a lot of people live in poverty, but a lot of people in the project's not really in poverty. It's got Benzes and stuff. Like, for real, like, people's houses look like B&Bs. Like, for me, so it's a stigma, basically. And, growing up from being there, a lot of people looked at me differently. That's why I'm so appreciative of my friends from BCA. Y'all ain't look at me different based on where I was from. But being from the project just shaped me to be a person that could see things from all sides.
So, I know you as Vono. Your government is your government. So, who is Vono? Who is that? Or who is Javon Webb? Like, are those two people different? How are they the same? Talk to me. Let's go deeper into the persona, the person, the soul that you are standing in front of me right now.
All right, I would have to say, like, it's crazy because my mother gave me both names. Like, my mother named me
really?
Javon when I was born, and my nickname Vono. A lot of people couldn't pronounce my name when I was younger. Like, teachers and stuff would call me Javon, and that's a big pet peeve of mine. So my mother changed, like, when I was, like, 14, like, right going into high school, she started calling me Vono, and then the streets ran with it. But my mother got a heavy influence in the streets. She's not a gangster now, but, she got heavy influence. So people ran with it, and that's just... They are two different people, though. I would say Javon is the basketball player. Javon was who I was pre-graduation from high school. So maybe like the immature version of myself, not knowing what the value of time and stuff means. And then Vono is just the more laid back. I've seen life for what it is at this point, and I feel like I'm more mature as this. When I'm Vono, I'm in a chill, like I'm probably doing something that I used to do. So Vono is the new me, I would say.
Okay, let's go into the BCA connection we have, right? So we got into BCA 2011, September, graduated, what was that, June, July?
2015.
First and foremost, most people that are going to watch this know you for BCA basketball, that went to BCA at least.
Yeah.
So describe what that time, just single out the basketball point. When did you start? When did you get on the team? And, of course, to your senior year.
I was supposed to play sophomore year, but I wasn't always a good student. So, things didn't pan out. But started from junior year. I became a starter after, like, 3 games. I think Stanley broke his finger or something, so I had to start at the point guard. And then DP never looked back. But I built a lot of connections with people I thought were very different from me. Like, Reggie, my best friend, and like
Shout out, Reg.
Before we played ball together, it was like we two different people. And then we started like really chilling. It's like, oh, yo, you really the same exact person. Like Reggie still come to my crib and he call and speak to my moms and stuff like that. when I speak to him, his dad asks about me. Like, that's really my brother. But all of them are, like, even Sammy, like, we don't speak like that. But the connections is, well, really deep, like the camaraderie that we built. And that's what it was about. Like, everybody had each other back. Like, whether it was a fight or it was a tough game, everybody had everybody back. Might laugh at you later. Definitely gonna laugh at you later.
Definitely gonna laugh at you later.
Definitely gonna laugh at you later, but that's what the camaraderie was. Don't be afraid to make a mistake.
So now to our Brooklyn BCA connection, opposing cliques in high school.
The circle.
You know, it's funny because I was never a part of that little clique that we call the circle in high school. I was kind of a late bloomer. We'll get to that later when you decide to talk to me. And you had the basketball team and the circle, which eventually turned into swag. But before swag was the circle.
Yeah. And
for those that don't know, the circle, we was basically 2 blocks down from high school on the corner in a circle, doing BS, regular high school stuff, chilling, macking, all that other extracurricular activity.
So said macking, nah. Unbelievable.
But at first I would say those 2 cliques weren't friendly, but at the same time, we knew in a sense that we were just two males in groups that kind of like the same thing. Try to describe that dynamic for me.
Like, once again, like, being from the projects taught me how to, you feel me, understand what it is dealing with alpha males and dealing with males that just want to follow. And a lot of people from our grade would just, like, follow us. So it was like, all right, you're this, but, like, one-on-one, you not this. So, like, I had a different rapport with everybody one-on-one. That's why it's like, oh, y'all really, all right, come on, let's do this. Like, everybody was cool, but it was just a learning process and knowing where I'm from. Just, all right, I got to read this person before I really get to know them. And I wasn't even on the bull team when everybody was calling me bull team, because that was sophomore year. I wasn't, I was still failed off. So it's just the way people imagine you. Like, out of all the bros, I was never in them. I initiated them, and then I was like, hey, yo, Dante, yo, get him, boy, get him. Like, I wasn't, for me, like, I'm one of those people. I'm instigating and back up. That's what I did with that. So it wasn't really, like, nothing too serious to me. And then till this day, I could go to any of y'all house still and still chill with y'all. So it wasn't nothing serious.
I feel with guys sometimes this is where I feel like guys are different than girls, because girls cliques, that's like real beef without any foundation there, in my opinion. So it's like, guys, we could maybe, not really talk to each other, but all it takes is one thing, and eventually that one thing actually came, and it wasn't really that deep. It's just, people said things, and it's guys. Yeah. We are competitive anyway, so it's just like, all right, let's be at it, but it's all love at the end of the day, and that's what I like about this relationship right here. It's more so, no matter, we all like the same stuff, we could always disagree, there's different opinions, basketball, all that, clothes, all that, but the love is still there.
Facts.
So let's go into fashion.
Okay.
Fashion. You got a piece of your fashion on your chest right now.
Yeah, Halloween edition. Cook this up
Halloween
real
edition
quick.
of Prohectivities. Yeah. Talk to me. What is Prohectivities and how did it come about?
Prohectivities, like the full definition, the festivities of the projects that bring us together. Togetherness within the community builds unity. Out of a unified community, individual stars are born/made. So it's just being a product of your environment and not being afraid to shine from it. Like, my best-selling design was a dice game that's played in the project. So it's like just using where you from to get where you need to be. And I just want people to notice and know that everybody from the projects is not a criminal or something like that. Like, it's talent out there. Even the criminals are talented. So just keep an open eye to people. And I made this off of a Facebook status. I was sitting at work, and I said, Prohectivities start at 6 p.m. Got to my block, and it looked like summer jam. Like, everybody was outside. So after that, a few, my man, DBF Ja, he called me like, yo, you got a hit. Let's do that. He made my first 60 shirts with me. Shirt I had on my birthday. So just from then, and I just ran with it. Like, everybody supported, and everybody was really feeling it. So I'm now, 2.5 years in, about to up it again with this next launch. So,
So what is the biggest challenge in you trying to bring your clothing line to life, make it something that people don't have to really promote as much? As soon as they see it in the store, they want to grab it. And what's driving you? What gets you there? What's your next goal for Prohectivities?
What I need is I need support, man. Like my friends that rap and stuff, like they on the ascension, and it all goes hand in hand. Like V-Lone rose with the ASAP rappers, they made that. So it's like my friends in Red Hook, Skeeto, AI, they rap, they getting a buzz, so they wear my clothes and videos and stuff. So it's just like just getting a buzz and getting people to support. You wear Prohectivities, Mike wear, Matt wear it on camera. So just the exposure, that's what's really needed. Like sales and stuff is always gonna be sales. The neighborhood supports, but exposure.
So talk to me about your aura, right? Some people know you from the internets. I know you personally. What is the aura you try to exude when you first meet somebody?
Comfortability. I want you to always be comfortable around me. Like I'm not phobic of anything, and like I love all my friends the same. So I want all my friends to feel comfortable around me. And anybody who meets me, like a customer, if you're gonna support the brand, be comfortable with the brand. Don't just, you feel me? It's not just about money to me. If it was, I would just print out pictures and put them on shirts.
So, see, I have a question more so it's more grand scheme, lifestyle, what made you this person. But the specific part of the question is what event or relationship or statement someone said to you that changed your aspect on life? When was there a point in your life that you said, okay, I got to move different. I got to up it. I got to do this. I got to do that. What was that moment for you?
My cousin, my brother, he was taken away from me at a young age, police brutality, Dion Flood. And I was in 10th grade at the time when he first like got brutalized, and he passed later on that summer from the complications. That's really what like changed it up, because coming from where I'm from, it's only like a few things you could do. You feel me? It's like you could die, get you some money, or you could go to jail. And it's like the road we was all on as youngins, it's like, wow. Like I wasn't wild, it's just watching him. Like that's my older cousin. So just looking up to him, it was like, damn, he was doing this, I want to do this. And then like for that to happen, that's what really opened my eyes. Like, yo, I gotta fix up. I can't, like, I'm not just a person anymore. Like my skin color matters. The way I dress, the way I look, the way I appear to people. I didn't care about that before, but after that, it was like time to shape it up and look different and get in a different light. Like, gotta make it to where the brand is now something that the young boys look up to, something that they change, and they're like, oh, y'all want Prohectivities. They not even going to Vinny's no more. They running to me. So that was the moment. The moment that I lost Dion, it was like, that changed my life for the better.
So let's use that, right? So you got a picture of yourself in your hood. Big poster. I remember when that happened. It was all over the internets. And I actually saw it in person a couple times that I've linked you. So it's like, what is, like, how do you feel when you see that? Like, I don't know much people that have their picture of themselves doing work, what they love to do, Prohectivities and all, in their hood on a main street. So talk to me. How does that impact you to do what you want to do?
It's all about the impact, and that was just like amazing. Like I'm all about giving people their flowers while they're here. So for my neighborhood to do that for me when I was just a young up and coming entrepreneur, yeah, like I was, like that was like one of the best times of my life, because it was like, damn, somebody, like I ain't never seen this before. This is crazy, and it's people that been doing fashion and stuff in my neighborhood years before me. People with even more exposure. So to see the effect that I had on my neighborhood is like, wow, they really looking at me like, gotta keep going. So it just made me wanna keep just influencing the younger guys to do better. And people older than me too, they coming to me like, it's a lot of people in my hood with LLCs now, and they know what sole proprietorships are now, cause they tapped in, and they was like, oh, let me sit down and have a conversation with Vono. So it's like, not that I'm the business wizard, it's just I could give you what I know.
Some game.
Yeah, and you could run with it.
So last but not least, get to the kids. You know, your work that I know every time that you can't link me or whatever, you helping out the kids for that's your occupation right now. Describe what you do in your hood, because it is a few blocks from your crib. talk to me. What was behind that job, and I see that it actually makes you happy. So talk to me about your relationship with the kids and where you do that at.
I've only ever worked in youth development, and it's the only career choice I want, because kids are ever changing. Like, I can't do a 9 to 5. I can't do knowing what it is roots day to day. Like, it's anything. I work with 6th through 12th graders now, so it's like anything could happen. They could be having a bad day. They could have just got some new sneakers. It's just an uplifting day, especially in the hard times in the neighborhood that we from. After school programs are also what changed me. Like, seeing the older guys that I seen on the block doing things in here with me, showing me how to shoot a basketball, showing me what sneakers is hot. I don't got enough money, they buying me a sandwich. Stuff like that. Like, just paying it forward, and you got to take care of those that come after you, because you don't want them to grow up and you just criticizing them when they could come to you like, oh, I need this. And that's how it should be in any neighborhood. But especially where I'm from, my neighborhood is heavy on that. Whoever is young and needs something, we going to give it to them. And I'm not a felon or nothing, so I could work with them and get paid for it.
That's my money for the people.
Of course.
So I'm going to ask you this question one last time. Who is Vono? Who is, what, after all this, after people see it, they came into this with one thing. What do you want them to come out of with?
One, buy the clothes, cop up, man. Like, that's one.
Yes,
cop
sir.
Up, that's the first thing. Like, that's what I would come out of, and know that it's genuine love. And I'm watching, like, to other black business owners that might watch this, other up and coming entertainers that's looking at Sway. Like, it's hard work. Like, everything is hard work. Nothing is given. Like, nothing at all. Even the sales you make, the views you get, the shares, nothing is given. It all come from talent. You got to put it into your craft. Like, we in a nice ass studio, pardon the language, but we here. Like, Sway don't play about his craft, you know.
No, sir.
You feel me? I got in my crib the best machines for what I can do right now, and I'm about to up it to a warehouse and stuff like that. It's all a process, y'all. And don't think because you growing up and stuff, you too old. Nah, there's always time where you could pop. But Vono is just a champagne popping, you know. KD, Giannis, you know, Finn guy, Donovan Mitchell, you know, for the community. Sometimes for the ladies, you know. You know.
Yes, sir.
You know, nice braids, you know. That's me. VV's, no CZs, you know.
Okay, so now I've been told there's a little something different. Now Vono will be asking me the questions.
Yeah.
So let's transition. All right, and we're back on Sway Reporting Live, and we got my man Vono, Prohectivities. Let's get into what we just talked about. It's your turn to take the floor. I'm now in the seat.
Yeah,
I'm in the hot seat. Talk to me, my boy.
It's a few things I've always wanted to ask you. I've always admired, like, your skill and stuff. You and Reggie, y'all amazing at what y'all do. Like it's easy to just talk about it, but to be a student of it and really know what you're doing and how to do it and have different ways of doing it, that's amazing. But pause that too. That was a little crazy. My bad. Pause that. It's crazy. Forward. Pause. What is Sway Reporting Live? What is it? What does it mean to you, and why is it Sway Reporting Live?
Wow. Right off the bat with it.
Yeah.
So Sway Reporting Live, of course, the nickname, of course, is Sway. Sway is nowhere near my real name. Real name, Ryan Richards. Everybody laughs when they hear it because it's like, what? But Sway, long and behold, I'm not going to get into the story of how my name became Sway. But nickname got in high school, about junior year of high school. And then, of course, I've always had a foundation for sports, love for sports, everything. I used to watch baseball back in the day. I even had my little stints with hockey. Of course, basketball and football. Like, those are my loves. And, of course, I played soccer in high school. So Sway Reporting Live came from the fact that me and you, me and Reggie, me and Kamal, all the guys in BCA, even in junior high school, when I was in junior high, I always was talking to guys about, like, yo, how you feel about this? How you feel about this? Like, because I watched the sport. And, of course, after school and some organized, I was playing the sport. So I always wanted to hear people's opinions, and I was a talker in middle school. I used to get in trouble for talking. You know those little freaking behavior notes where it's a green card, yellow card, red card. I was always on the red because I kept talking, and the teacher didn't want me talking during class. So Reporting Live came from I'm Sway. and I'm giving you my insight on all things sports. And of course, I'm live. So it came from that, the acronym SRL. Shout out True, because he has his my fault. He has his clothing brand, SLR Solar. So it's by accident, actually. So it's funny how me and him had the same acronym, but that's how Solar Reporting Live came about.
You had to pay True some little dividends out. Okay. Shout out True, my boy.
Facts.
What I really wanted to ask, right? Why do you love sports? Like, that's what I always wanted to know. Because for everybody, it's different. Like, some people escape. Some people are just, like, born into it. And, you know, some of us find it later. So what is it for you? What is the love for sports? And I know you play soccer, so.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, the love for sports was kind of easy. Parents were Jamaican, so, of course, it's education. But most of my cousins, I have a lot of cousins on my mom's side. Most of my cousins played basketball. I had a cousin that was in the NFL. That's a whole nother story about how he was good. I'll tell you that much. But, you know, outside of the football field, things derailed him from that. But he was in the NFL. So growing up in middle school, I had a real NFL jersey. I had a Baltimore Ravens jersey. So, like, I had that. My favorite player is LeBron James. That comes with that. And then I played soccer since the age of 5. So I could have dibble-daddled in other sports because, you know, I played high school recreationally, like after school and stuff. Played football in middle school. And I felt like I was always better than everybody in football. Soccer, not everybody played soccer, so I played soccer organized. Sadly, I never got to take it to the next level. But that's where the love for sports came from. It was always, I wouldn't call it an escape because my pops was still on the sideline for me during soccer, yelling.
So it's a connection.
Yeah, it's just. I wouldn't say it's connection with me and my pops, but it's more so like you see the BS some people deal with at home, like yelling and doing chores and all that, parent shit. I dealt with that on the field in soccer.
I know. Yeah, my pops was like that.
Yeah, like he was that parent. My dad was that parent that like, yo, why are you stopping? Cause you lost the ball. Don't give up on the play. Why are you doing that? Come on. Like these are good things to say when you're talking to me by yourself. But I didn't always feel like that was. But sports was my safe haven, my escape, my love. It was all of those things. I couldn't say it was just one or two. Because, the game brings me together with different people, and I've met a lot of people through sports, discussion, and playing. So that's where the love came from, honestly.
Okay. And, we're friends, we brothers. So I wanna hear about, like, how do you view your transformation from where we were at in high school, me taking a picture with boxes on my head.
That picture is classic.
Like, stuff like that, like calling you every time I get a new pair of sneakers, stuff like so. Like, what do you see? How do you see it? How do you? I
mean, I'll tell you this: the person I am right now is not the person I was in middle school, not the person I was in high school, and I don't want to call it two-faced because in middle school I was the go home person. I got dropped home on the van, all that. Church boy, y'all know me for that. And then with the guys, you could say I'm free, like my personality is not out there, but. Let's take it to high school. I wasn't, when I got to BCA, I ain't really talk to none of y'all.
Nah, yeah, it's crazy. I don't remember.
If you ask anybody at BCA, no one really, everybody's recollection of Ryan at the time didn't start till late 10th grade, early junior year.
I'm thinking campus. Like, when you was in the stands, it was like.
Yeah. And
all right.
Yeah, like some of that came from, the females I've interacted with, and then they had friends, and then people started to know me because of that. But, I mean, I'm being real. I'm being real. Like the interactions I had in high school with females kind of brought me to the male friend group that I have now. So that's how you guys kind of know me. That's how I look at it, to be a realist, because I was a lame, if you want to call it that, a guy that really didn't interact. But
everybody was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in terms of transitioning, it was a lot of realizing that I don't need to stress shit that I literally cannot control. When it comes down to sports, if one of my mans, if my teammate, I pass him a great I give him a great pass, and he doesn't kick it in the net. You know what I'm saying? For games, stuff like that. Like even on just regular talking, like I've realized things that I literally can't touch, can't initiate, can't properly persuade or alter. I realize that that's not I can't stress over that, because I don't know if you remember high school. I never used to be this big. I used to be skinny, but people thought I was skinny. I thought I was big. You get what I'm saying? Like I thought I was kind of, but that whole high school, like I went through a time where it just I stopped eating and shit like that, and it was all because of stress. But I didn't look at it as depression. I just looked at it as I let certain things hinder what I usually do. So once I realized, yo, screw that shit. You feel me? Like you get on the next play. You know what I'm saying? Get on the next one. Next thing. Like you got to be able to keep moving forward. So that's kind of where my mindset always been. I still struggle with that because you want to be great in everything you do. So with me, I just try to, try not to let the stress get to me and keep it pushing.
Okay. So the transformation is losing the stress,
maybe losing the caring for certain things. My cousin always told me, my older cousin, shout him out. He always told me, he recently started telling me like, yo, just don't let, like, some of that stuff don't need your energy. Certain things don't need your energy. So I'm starting to apply that a little bit more, and hopefully I'm going down the right path.
Okay. And what's the future of SRL? Where are we taking this? Where we going?
SRL, oh man. So for those that know me, they, I always feel like I want to work for ESPN or want to work for FS1, but or like Fox Sports, NFL Network, something like that, or a news outlet. But lately, I've really been thinking like I could take it to the moon. Like I don't have to. I always thought about SRL when I first started it as I can make this under a ESPN, under a Fox, under a NBC, under a whatever. You
under
feel
a
me?
major network, yeah.
Yeah, like under a Spotify for podcasts or Apple Music, even though those things would be good. But these days I'm starting to figure out that you got to be able to own your stuff. Everything must be yours. Your masters per se, for comparison.
Okay.
Like I really want to take this to the moon, even if it's to the point where like this is no longer, like, this will always be my baby. This will always be it. I feel like I started it late in my life and all of that, but I feel like this can be something that can allow me to help others and allow others to help me. Where I want to go, I want to be on the airways. I want to be the guy that people come to for opinions. Granted, this is an opinionated world, but hey, why not listen to me? You get what I'm saying? This world is a lot of figures, and there's a lot of followers, but it's an influence. You have to follow, so you have to learn how to look at something and then try to make that better. There's the Stephen A. Smiths of the world. There's the Stuart Scotts of the world. R.I.P. There's the who else? I feel like I'm missing out names. I'm sorry, but
Ernie Johnson.
The Ernie Johnson.
The white version of you. The white sway.
the Skip Baylesses, the Shannons, like, you know what I'm saying? Like those guys that some may say talk a little bit too much or talk weird, but that's TV. I want to change TV or whatever you look at for SRL is different from TV. It's not, it's not the corporate lines you're gonna hear. It's not the cliche narrative driven stories based on sports you're gonna hear. It's just real authentic shit.
Yeah,
and the streets love that. The streets don't always want to hear you talk about LeBron James three times a day or 3 times a week. Like, I get it, LeBron James is LeBron James, but there are different fan bases for different basketball players, just as an example.
We don't want to talk about the Nets and Lakers struggles when they 2-3 and this team's
undefeated.
undefeated.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's other things to talk about, and there's other ways to talk about it. So, not to knock ESPN and Fox Sports, but because I watch those things every day. But what podcasts that I see SRL trying to get to those heights or following their footstep is I Am Athlete with Brandon Marshall and Channing Crowder and Chad Ochocinco and Fred Taylor and Jared Aldrich, if I remember his name correctly. Like, those guys on YouTube, those guys, if you've been watching them, people just pull up different types of people. Dwayne Wade, Bob Marley's son, I forgot his name, forgive me. But, like, you had all these different people, all these different things that, free game and just, just vibes. Because half the time what we're doing is vibes, but it's not always, how you say, it's not always productive. So, I'm trying to put something together where it's vibes for the guys. Of girls, of course. I want things to be for everybody, but of course my sports lane is my sports lane. Not all girls are in sports, so I'm trying to tie everything together. And I believe this episode is the first thing to that. And I'm really trying to take our show to the moon, man. Like, at first, I was really hesitant on it. It was just a hobby. But now I feel like I look at it as work. I ain't getting paid for it yet, like I wanted to. But, this is me. This is Sway. This is Ryan. This will never leave me at all.
Hey, that's about it. You answered everything I was going to ask you. But I do got a sports question for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got one sports question.
Teaser. Talk to me.
Who's the best basketball team of all time? By year. That's the only question I got for you. Who's the best basketball team?
Put me on the spot.
Yeah.
Okay, I won't be biased because LeBron James Heat is not the best basketball team. That's number one. Let's get that out the way.
Well, I knew you wasn't gonna say that.
There's the people that swear I'm a LeBron whatever, but let's keep it real.
A stan? Nah, you're not a stan.
Let's keep it real. To me, let's preface this by saying I've only watched certain teams, but the first year KD Golden State is one that I'll have up there. One of the later Jordan years I'll go last three-peat or the second to last. Because you were young and you were springy and you had all those other guys, but I feel like veteran play is what rules in the NBA, mixed with some young talent on your roster, but most of the championships that you've seen are with veteran stars or stars that got over the hump with players that are veterans. So the two teams for me is literally, let's call it 96-97 Bulls. They're not 72-10 though, clearly, I know. But
no.
But we've seen that broken, but I like that impact of The Last Dance. I'm not gonna say that was an influence, but the 96-97, you're a veteran. You have all the other odds against you. Everybody is seasoned. Teams, like I said, teams don't win in this NBA in history without being experienced and impact players, and that team had it. So those Bulls, first year KD Warriors are my two. If I want to go third, damn, that's a tough one.
Surprise.
Surprised at what?
Surprise. Yeah, it's a surprise me, honestly.
What did you think I was going to say?
2016 Cavs.
Why would I say is that the best team? Don't get me wrong. The tandem of Kyrie and LeBron is nice with Kevin Love on the boards and three, but they had their flaws.
Every team has their flaws.
You got to understand, though. There's one thing I'll admit for any LeBron, quote-unquote, super team or any LeBron-led team. He does so much. He's a Swiss Army knife. LeBron is so good that you don't look at the other aspects of basketball as much as you would if you didn't have a LeBron James. And defensive-wise, they were good, but they weren't great. They schematically beat the 2016 Warriors, involving Steph in pick and rolls, letting Klay guard LeBron a lot to wear him down so that even if he did switch on Kyrie, you're still a little bit tired. If you look at those finals, or at least for the last 3 to 4 games, Klay didn't have that much of a high scoring. So Draymond did the dirty work in the last 2 games, but not the last game and then the second to last.
Suspended.
Yeah,
they would be
but
champions if he was.
Whatever. I'm not jacking that. But if you want to put them in there, I guess.
No, I just thought you was gonna say them. I'm not putting them in there.
But I wouldn't, because the Miami Heat are better than them in my opinion. 2012. Mike Miller, Shane Battier, all them guys. LeBron, those are better than the Cavs in my opinion. So I can't put them in that list. So yeah, first year Warriors with KD and 96-97 Bulls.
Second year to 3-peat.
Yeah, so yeah. Right. If I had to pick, those are my toss-ups. If you really want me to pick one, I'm going to go KD. Only because I've seen it.
Made me happy. Kevin Durant is on the best team ever, guys. I'm happy. There we go. But But yeah, that was it. I just wanted to pick your brain a little bit, Sway. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Always
Hopefully
happy
this
to be
is
here.
the start of something great. Hopefully someone else can take that seat. Oh, last question. Who do you think, friend or someone that you have, is there someone that needs to sit in this seat? My seat, your seat. You interview them, I interview them. Let me know.
It's a few people. I ain't gonna name drop. I ain't giving nobody no clout right now, man. Go shop up, man. Prohectivities.
Prohectivities very important.
Prohectivities.
Merch on the way. That's the announcement. Merch on the way, man. That's all I'm gonna say.
Definitely.
And my brother.
Thank you, bro.
Pleasure.
Silly and yours, I'm sorry, mama, you can't have it your way. I'm a little broke boy, I be stuck in my ways. I'm a little broke boy, I'm just acting my age. 23 hoop dreams, I'ma start in my J's. Probably rolling my J, ain't got nothing to say. I be running away, you can have a good day. Fearing doubt in LA, we all one in the same. We all one in the name. Look. Hard to be better when you settled in a lifestyle. Made so many wrongs that it been too much to write down. I don't got the time to get involved, it's on my price now.